I am Dr. Hooper, acting principal at School 33, and I would like to welcome all of our esteemed guests today. All of our community members, our community leaders, our school personnel, friends from central office. We have many of those here today, and I can't even begin to name them all because I'm sure I would be leaving someone out. But we will be able to acknowledge some additional people at the end of our ceremony, and so I will do that. I would like to say that this is a great day. It is a day that is marking history for us here at this school because it symbolizes a joining together of School 33, the Webster Avenue Recreation Center, and the Sully Library. The only day that would be greater than this day will be the day that this structure is completed and we move back into the renovated building to continue our work. And that being said, I would like to say that this is especially exciting to think of what the future brings for our students, including those here with us today. Today we have Miss Burgess's class, her 3rd grade class, and Mrs. Showalter's 5th grade class. So we're so happy they could join us today. We have also several of our esteemed parents, and they are truly our partners. And I would love to acknowledge every parent who's with us today, but let me acknowledge two that have served us particularly well over the years. And one of those parents is our PTO president, Ronald Wright, and the other parent, our former PTO president, George Moses. Thank you for being here today. Progress and change have been part of this area and this neighborhood for many years. Had we been on this site a little over 100 years ago, we would have been standing amidst a herd of cows. Yesterday, I spoke with Miss Burgess and Miss Showalter's class about the groundbreaking that occurred here some 40-odd years ago. We looked at a trowel that was engraved with the school name and the date, and we looked at some pictures of the groundbreaking because I wanted the students to have a true knowledge of how important this day is. And also to tell them that one day they may drive by the school that we are renovating here and the library and the rec center and tell their children about this day. So it is truly an important day in our history. The original school on this location, School 11, was built in 1907. At that time, school number 33 was located on Grand Avenue. When our current building went up in 1967, the two schools shared the building. They were joined under one name, Audubon School 33, in 1981. Today, School 33 is the largest elementary school in the city of Rochester, serving more than 1,000 children in grades pre-K through grade 6. We have been very fortunate here at School 33 to have a fine library, the Sully branch, right nearby, and the Webster Avenue Recreation Center alongside of our campus. And we have enjoyed a strong relationship with those two entities for years. The school, the library, and the rec center have worked in tandem with each other for decades. With the new Ryan Center project, the partnership will become even stronger. It will allow us to take our service to students and families into the modern age and to provide us with new and better opportunities for all of Northeast Rochester. And so this is truly a great day. At this time, I would like to introduce our first esteemed speaker. We are so happy to have him here with us today, Rochester Mayor Robert Duffy.
Dr. Hooper, thank you very much, and I want to welcome everybody. First, I want to have some thank yous to say, but also acknowledge some people who are here that are very important. One is our former mayor, William Johnson, over here. I wish the mayor would join us up front. He is here, and again, this project started going back under his leadership. Mayor, thank you so much for coming. Obviously, President Giess, who I'm going to talk about momentarily behind me, Carolee Conklin from City Council. I want to thank, again, all the members of council, the school district, everyone for what they've done. Louise Slaughter gave $100,000 for this project. Joe Morelli gave $50,000 for this project. And you see it, overall, it is just a huge team event. I want to start by talking about the school district. Dr. Cala to Vice President Malik Evans. Congratulations on your victory last night, Malik. The school district has been just tremendous. The money that they are putting forth on this project, they are putting forth a bulk of the financing for this. And it is going to be $30.3 million from the school district. There's, again, about $4.8 million from the city, $1.4 million in private fundraising, and that private fundraising effort was led by people like Betsy Rowan, who is here with Howard Rowan, her husband, and many others who are instrumental in that. But the one point I would like to make, for all the things that get said about the school district and the city and relationships, here's an event today that we could celebrate, that everybody came together so well. Dr. Cala, Malik Evans, the entire school district, the library, John Lovenheim, who is here, who leads the board, Paul Smith, who runs our library, City of Rochester, our administration, City Council, everybody worked together to come together and put forth what is going to be an absolutely fabulous, fabulous property here, and a beautiful building and structure, a library, a community center that will help these children and help this neighborhood, all in honor of a man who I think deserves the greatest of honors, Tom Ryan. I want to acknowledge Charlotte, who is here and just looks phenomenal. She looks great. Charlotte Ryan, who's, again, was part of the big team with Mayor Ryan for his over 20 years of service to the city. I also want to acknowledge Mary Beth, their daughter, who is here. And I also want to acknowledge Walter Fuller, who I think is over here. Walter, can you raise your hand? Walter has been picked. He is a third grader, 33 school. He's been picked by the school to be part of the groundbreaking process. And Walter, I want to thank you very much. You are a big part of this. This center will provide $40,000 square feet. It's going to involve a library, a community center, a football field, basketball courts. The library will have a 20% increase in shelving space for books and media, what have you. There's going to be a teen media room, art and a game room. It is going to be about library, about education and literacy. It'll be about recreation and sports and development, and about education. And it pulls together all the things that were so important to Tom Ryan. Mayor Ryan lived just a couple blocks away on Rocket Street. He and Charlotte were there, I think, for 40 years. His loves were children, were this neighborhood, this community, education. He was a man of few words but a lot of action. And while perhaps he was not somebody who liked being in the media and being out front publicly, one thing that all of us would acknowledge, Mayor Ryan was a terrific governance mayor. He led this city with great distinction and honor. He paved the way for Mayor Johnson, who also led with great distinction and honor. And Mayor Ryan served with his heart. He was a man who I had a pleasure of dealing with only for about a year. I was a deputy chief in the police department, and just have great, great respect for what he stood for. And he was one that never wanted to be recognized. He always wanted to be behind the scenes. He wanted to spend time with his family, home, and friends. And so many of his family members are here today. But there could not be a more fitting honor than this today. In 2 years, this building will be finished. Again, it'll provide a beautiful, beautiful resource to this neighborhood. A couple of people I'd like to also acknowledge that are part of this, and this is from the community. I'd like to go through just some very quick thank yous. First of all, Northeast Area Development, John Page. Beechwood Association, Kyle Crandall. The Pike Company, I know Len Bauer is here. Stantec, I know Stantec is here. Everybody pulled together to make this possible. But in 2 years from this month, when this building goes up, I think this neighborhood is going to have just a fabulous resource. It's going to be something that will benefit these children. It'll benefit other children and families. It'll be about promoting education, about promoting a sense of community here. And again, to have this be probably 2 to maybe 3 blocks away from where Tom Ryan spent most of his life is a great, great tribute. So I want to thank everybody who was part of this. And I want to have a very special thank you at the end for somebody who will be coming up and speaking. President Lois Giess is retiring at the end of this year. And I can bear witness to the fact, I think Mayor Johnson can as well, Lois's passion for this project is unparalleled. Tom Ryan meant so much to Lois Giess in terms of her career, her life as a friend, as a colleague, as a mentor. Lois has put her heart and soul into this project. And it took a long time to get it up and running. This did not happen overnight. This took years to get here. But the persistence, the leadership, the teamwork that is exemplified by all of our partners here today. And specifically, I want to point out Lois, who I think was a driving force behind the scenes on this. It's become a reality. When we break ground today, it's a big step forward, and in 2 years from this month, we're going to be here enjoying this fabulous facility. So I want to just ask you for a round of applause for Lois before she comes up, and thanking her for what she has done. And just in closing, we may have forgotten a number of people. A number of our city team is here, many of our senior management team, current, a lot of past administration. Folks are here who've worked so hard. I just want to say a collective thank you to be here today, to put your heart and soul into this, to honor a man who I think deserves a great tribute. He was one of those leaders that I don't think come around very often in life. And one experience that I would have before I close, I probably was at a handful of meetings with the mayor in my former role in the police department. And again, you could see perhaps a little gruff exterior. His passion for this place was just incredible. His passion for Rochester, for making change. You could see it, you can feel it, that this city, the blood ran through his veins. And I was also, he was known for these long pauses on the telephone. And in my short time, I received one of those long pauses, and I thought, there's no way I could hang up on the mayor. And it would seem like maybe 20 minutes before the next words came from him. I just hung in there. And after talking to other people, I think many of us here have been part of that. But he's somebody who I think really needs to be memorialized, and what better tribute than today. And in closing, to these children, everything that we do should be focused on improving the lives of these kids. And to think that today we could talk about the private sector, the fundraising, the city school district, the library, city hall, the neighborhood, the community. Everybody came together to work side by side to do something so positive for these children, for this community, and for a fabulous person by the name of Mayor Tom Ryan. So I thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Mayor Duffy. We really appreciate those words and helping us with our collaboration. We are also very honored today to introduce City Council member President Lois, and she is no stranger to our school, having visited here before and always having been supportive of us. So I am so proud to introduce her now.
Thank you very much. We've also been joined by some past council people. Jerry Curran, who preceded me as the president of the City Council, and Chris Lindley are also here, both longtime colleagues of Tom Ryan, and so I'm so glad that they can be here this day too. First, I'd like to thank Mayor Duffy for personally shepherding this project to the point where we are today. This project would not have happened without the personal investment of Mayor Duffy and William Cala. I know we owe thanks to almost everybody who's in this tent and space. And I'd like to start with Bill Johnson and Loretta Scott. But you know, it required that final push. So thank you both. I'd like you to shift your eyes to these young people here, and then beyond to the little ones who are part of the preschool program. This project is an appropriate tribute to Tom Ryan because he loved children. When a group of children came to City Hall, the door was open and he would stop what he was doing, and he invited him into his office beaming. But he also loved to read. He read books, magazines, newspapers, studies, reports, and he was instrumental in pulling together a team of people that created the new Bausch and Lomb Library. Long before preschool programs were popular, Tom Ryan supported the Family Resource Center right here on Webster Avenue. He recognized that preschool programs were critical for the success of schools. He would have loved this model: a preschool program, a recreation center, a library, a health center, combined with a neighborhood school. The least we can do is honor him with this neighborhood center, his neighborhood. He drove by this corner every day, morning and night. And I am sure that those Irish eyes are smiling on us today. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Council President Lois Giess, for those inspiring words. I know that they really touched my heart, and I'm sure they did everyone else's as well. I would also like to invite up here to speak with us today one of our Board of Education Commissioners, Malik Evans. Please welcome Malik Evans.
I'll just say briefly to these young people here, you know, there are 3 words that you all should think about when you think about this facility that's going to be built in this great project. Persistence, stick-to-itiveness, and follow-through. I think that those are 3 words that demonstrate what this project represents, and above all, partnership with the city and the school district. So often you hear about the district and the city fighting. That's all a bunch of nonsense. And this is an example of how when government works together, we can have great things. And this is only the beginning of more things to come in the future. So I think that this is a great day for all of us in this community. You know, I'm young still, and I've only had the opportunity to know 3 mayors, Tom Ryan, Bill Johnson, and Bob Duffy. And I'll tell you all, they all understood above anything else that we need to work to put the community first, and I think that this is a prime example of that. I cannot wait to come back and see this great facility. I think that this will be an absolutely great addition to this neighborhood. I think that it demonstrates that when we all work together, we can make great things happen. So I look forward to this project. Thank you all for coming out, and thank you for all the folks that did the work behind the scenes to make this happen. And I look forward to the future. Thank you.
And, at this time, I would like to introduce our interim superintendent, Dr. William Cala.
Thank you, Robin. Is Jennifer Sanfilippo out there? Jennifer Sanfilippo is representing the governor today, Governor Spitzer. So we thank you for coming today. So thank you very much. She had called me yesterday and said she'd be here, but the mayor had to remind me. This is especially sweet for me. When I was your age, all you kids out here, when I was your age, I lived in this neighborhood. That was my library. I used to skate on that skating rink over there. I spent a lot of time on Rocket Street, so I know this neighborhood well. I remember when this school was built, and to be a part of the next generation of what's going to happen here is really pretty exciting. So when I arrived in mid-April, one of the first things that came across my desk was a facilities plan, and it wasn't just this facilities plan. It was about 4 or 5 or 6 issues that were long unresolved with the city. So we got together and we were determined with the city to make sure that this happened, and it's really important that it does happen. So the fact that that we're here today breaking ground is almost unbelievable to me, and it's especially exciting given my familiarity with the neighborhood and my connection with this neighborhood. As I will second everything that Lois and Malik and Bob have said. The most important thing is the importance of our entire community to put forth an effort to make sure that our kids are whole. It's not going to happen if the city works alone. It's not going to happen if the school district works alone. It's not going to happen if community members work alone. This project pretty much epitomizes the unity of our entire community, the educational community and the community at large, for our kids. Our kids will not succeed if we're not all pushing together for their success and really combining our efforts to make kids successful. So this is, I hope, the beginning of not just the first effort of where we really put our community together and our minds and our hearts together for the benefit of our children. So I look forward to grabbing that shovel and digging. And I thank all of you for coming today, and can't wait for the 2 years from now so that we could have another opening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cala, and I know that we all share your enthusiasm for the reopening of the renovated building. At this time, I have one more guest that I would like to call up, and that is Rochester Public Library Board President John Lovenheim. Thank you for being here.
I was very excited about shoveling the dirt here until I realized that there were cows roaming until recently, so hopefully that's been taken care of. The Rochester Public Library is pleased to be part, we're more than pleased, we're ecstatic about being part of this innovative project, this project that is a collaboration and cooperation that does nothing but benefit the community, as we can see. The project is a result of will result in the replacement of an aging library, the Scully Library, which is undersized, and it will be replaced by a state-of-the-art facility. The center will share space and resources with the city's recreation and youth resources and with the Audubon School number 33 behind us. The Thomas Ryan Jr. Community Center and Library will be a vibrant destination for the city's northeast community. The Rochester Public Library is proud to be part of this effort. I'd like to give special thanks to the fundraising committee, headed by a dear friend of Tom and Charlotte Ryan's, that's Betsy Relland. Thank you, Betsy. And thank you to the many donors who have given so generously to this project. This new facility is a fitting honor to Mayor Ryan, who loved this community, who loved children, and who loved reading, and there could be no better combination of those for this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lovenheim. We, too, at School 33, share your love of reading, and we have used the library so much over the years. It's been a popular destination for all of our classrooms. But oh, how much better it will be when we are actually connected with the library. So we are very much looking forward to that day. And at this time, I would now like to invite our dignitaries to come forward for the groundbreaking ceremony. So I would like to have, in addition to our speakers, I would like to call up student Walter Fuller. Walter, could you please come up? And by the way, I do need to say Walter is a 4th grade student. You know, students can be sensitive about those things, so I wanted you to know he is a 4th grader. We're happy to have him here with us today. And I believe it is Charlotte Ryan, a representative from the Ryan family, who will be joining us. We're so happy to have her here with us today. She could come up and join us.
Striking area that we have cordoned off here. And I'm actually going to have Walter. Walter, if you could just go up and go right to the end for us.
Good luck.
And what a fitting end to our momentous occasion and a wonderful ceremony. I would just like to say thank you, everyone, for joining us for this wonderful event and helping us mark this occasion by breaking ground.
Thank you, Dr. Hooper.